Hello, YouTube fans. Here again. And why not this one? Got it on DVD. Good film. Salem Lock. Salem Lock, the movie. The only thing with Salem Lock is they've never ever bought the miniseries out. And I've got to admit, I was more of a lover of the miniseries with the late, I can't remember his name, David Lloyd. That's right, David Lloyd. He's sadly no longer with us. We all know that. He sadly passed away. But yeah, the late David Lloyd. Duh. David Soul. The late David Soul. I always remember the mini-series with the late David Soul. This was not long after he did the Biddy Cop Show, Starsky and Hutch. And we all know Starsky and Hutch wasn't getting bidder in ratings, and it was on the worst network going, ABC. So they took off Starsky and Hutch, which was the same, because I remember there's a watching that. Hell of a lot better than the movie version. The late movie version, I should say, because we all know they did a TV film. That's what I'm speaking about. So, TV show was making it big at the time, he did that song, How Can I Pretend, that song, we did a bit of song, if you, I can't figure the lyrics, they'll come back to me, but he did a bit of singing, and he decided to do, from the best-selling book being Salem Lock, Stephen King, like most of his books, would have become films or miniseries. We all know they did a sequel in the late 80s called Return to Salem Lock. They did another remake, and then we all know they made another remake since. But I don't mind the film version. It's just I was more of a lover of the miniseries, and I wish they bought the miniseries out with the late David Soul. But the film version is still quite good. It's quite good. It's basically just the miniseries. They just spiced it up and made a complete movie version of it. That's all they've done. But this is like a good film. If everyone remembers Salem Lock, you know what I'm on about. So you got the late David Soul with his wife. I think rather it's his wife or someone he's engaged to, it's his love interest, and they move to this area and has a lot of dark secrets. But we all know the dark secrets, 'cause like I said, there was a mini series, the film version, Return to Salem Lock. The list goes on, the list goes on. So you've got this guy, he's a bit eccentric, this old guy, there's something cheapy about him, and people start going missing on the way. One kid goes missing, you get a typical boo-hoo jump scare, but everyone always remembers, and I might have it on the back here, this cheapy fucking thing here, which is kind of a love letter to Natu Vatu. If anyone remembers Natu Vatu, whether it be the side move, if it's funny enough, the same year when this come out, they had the remake of Natu Vatu. It's kind of a love letter to that. And I always remember that cheapy thing with the bald head, jumps up, gets that kid. You got one kid who's into horror films. But I always remember this really, really cheapy scene where you got one guy and he opens up the coffin, which is a big mistake, and the vampire of the kid comes out and bites him on the neck. And everyone also remembers the iconic scene where the little vampire boy is tapping on the window and he's flying in the air, you've got smoke coming out. Really, really iconic. A really, really good cheapy scene. Really puts chills to my back just watching it now. He's tapping on the window and the little boy makes that mistake of opening the window. So it really is got a few ways. I do actually like the way they changed the vampires in this. Just goes to show you I'm not always old school. I'm not always into Dracula and all these sort of vampire films. Like this, just have some really good for the TV network, this really did have some really cheapy, chilling scenes in it. You can see why it had a tote foiling. You can see why they made sequels. Didn't mind the TV remake, the new one. Nah, I'm not seeing it, but looking at the track record of remakes, okay. It's taken up a book, but to me, how many fucking reboots and shitting have they got to do? I'll go to that another day. But this one, I actually liked it. I like the character of David Soul and so on. I don't remember the scene where this guy gets turned into a vampire and he says that line, look at me, look at me. And his eyes are lit up right. Really, really, again, that, I mean, really good cheapy moments like that. To see where they're in the cop place and this guy gets arrested and the vampire, the one I've just shown, jumps up, you don't expect it, and dives on him. These are jump scares what fucking work. But I always remember the cheapy scenes. I say it again, the little boy tapping on the window. That vampire sat down. Look at me. Everything in this really does have some really good jump scares. And I always remember the scene where they got the mother and his father, they sat in the kitchen, the big bald vampire just jumps through the window, kills his family, no fucking about. They took the lad because he's chatting on that there's what it is. The vampires, I just said it, that's the dark secret of Salem. The vampires. Now, this was the era when vampire films were sort of coming back, but didn't really rub off into you. You had films, let's say, like Fight Night, and it brought back the vampire films. But they tried it again, you know what I mean? You had a new version of Dracula, and you had Love at First Bite, which kind of like a comedy version of Dracula. And you had Salem, same there, 79. So they was trying to bring back the vampire element. And this one, actually, like I say, I don't mind this one. I know it's made for TV, but there are bits, like I say, I like. There's a bit where he feels sorry for David Soul because his woman's been turned into a vampire and he has to make the ultimate sacrifice of killing his woman. There's a bit of me though thinking, why don't I do it like Fight Night? I know this come out well before Fight Night, where he finds the head vampire, kills it to save his woman. But I don't know, maybe the book version's different. I've never read the book. But I just felt, why not do that rather than put a stake through his woman's heart, which kind of upset him. There's a bit where he gets the ball vampire. Let's have a look at the back. I think it's on here somewhere. Yeah, stakes the vampire there. Pretty nervy scene. Uses the toss. And I think rightly he kills the main villain. And it's me thinking, is he a vampire? Is he the undead? Because he's walking around in daylight. So I don't really trust him being a vampire, but he knows what's going on. He knows the dark secret and he gets killed as well. Him and the little boy get out of Dodge to drive off, to drive away from Salem. And you got, I love the ending where you got a moon. It's hard to explain. You got a moon, right? And it goes bright, bloody red. And then you got the word Salem, and you got that music, dun 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 dun, and it ends like that. And I actually don't mind Salem. Like I say, it was there's some really good cheapy bits in it. I just said it. The boy coming out the coffin, the window tapping scene, the bit where he flies out to bite the boy. The look at me line, there's a bit where the vampires are cheaper to Joss to get the kid, the bald vampire, what has been the most iconic scene. Everyone remembers the scene where it jumps out and gets that poor die. So there are some really good cheapy moments in Salem. So I can definitely see why this had a total foil in. You know what I mean? Like I say, the bought out return of Salem, but it's a lot more fine. They bought out another remake. We got another remake. But this one, I know folks, they're just going to do a foil up. I felt this would have brought back David Soul. Just my opinion. I miss David Soul. I miss him, like they say, the cop souls. Starsky and Hutch. I miss that. I miss him when he was doing a bit of singing. You know, if you'll give up on me, baby. You know, I miss that. He's kind of sad, you know what I mean? But I like David Soul when he did this, Salem. I think he did a good role in it. He did a good role. And I mean, there's some good cheapy elements in it. There's a bit now where I've got to be open, I've got to be honest, it feels a bit dated now. I get it. It was the 70s, so you got kids, 70s hairstyle, 70s fashion. But there are some good though, but it was good to bring back the vampire element. I can respect the time to do something different. See? I can respect the dads do something different. It's not always got to be fucking vampires out of coffins, even though you do get that in the film. The way they make the vampires look, they make them more cheapy, more frightening. I like the fact they're fine in the air. This was done before The Lost Boys, and you got vampires flying in the air. So, Salem Lock, how can I put it? It's a TV miniseries, but it's just a movie one. I just wish to bring out the miniseries like they did with V. Remember I reviewed V? They had the miniseries, they had the follow up, the final battle. I did a review on the TV series. I wasn't as mad on the TV series, but I've seen the fucking remake. I respect it. Because she's had the original members in it, like Robert England as Willie, Mike Singer as Mike Gonathan. But because it's a film, Ron, I just wish to put out a miniseries. Bring out the box set of the miniseries. Please do with the film. We've never ever had the miniseries. I want to see it. I want to see it. But the movie one, I've got no faults. So, fuck it. A 5-star rating for me. But you don't know. Be smart. Be safe. See you later.